Good morning. We are the PLD investigative team, and we are here to review the case of Ana Garcia.
The decedent for this case is Ana Garcia. She's a 20-year-old female. She's a college student who works part-time in a research lab in the Gentry Life Science Center. She's 5'6", weighs 135 pounds, and her favorite hobby is soccer. She also has dark curly brown hair, as you can see in this picture of her, which was taken about 4 days before she died. This is the Gentry Life Science Center, and that's a picture of the crime scene of her death. Her daily life consists of going to the research lab twice a day, once at 10 a.m. and once at 9 p.m. She has lunch from 11 to 12. She has soccer practice at 3 p.m. and she tends to study from around 5 to 5:30 p.m. The timeline before her death. On Tuesday before her death, around 1 p.m., she was at the lab with Taylor Diaz and Eric Piedmont. The Wednesday before her death, around 8 p.m., Ana was at the library, and that same day, she studied with Eric and Taylor. The day before her death, at 10 a.m., she had office hours with Dr. Opal. 2 hours later, at noon, she had lunch with Eric. 3 hours later, she had soccer practice, which she got a head injury at by bumping heads with Sam Green. And then at 6 p.m. that day, she took pain meds to help with the pain from her head. And then at 9 p.m. that day, she worked in the lab again.
So, a little summary of the scene. The location that Ana Garcia's body was found was the Gentry Life Science Building, as you can see in the bottom right corner. That is a photo of the Gentry Life Science Building. A little bit of a scene description. The scene was secured by police at 10:10 a.m., the day that she was found. Her body was found laying on the ground with hair covering her face, blood droplets on the lab countertop and the ground around her, blowflies surrounding her, and the whole crime scene. These are some photos of the crime scene. On the left side of your screen, you can see that Ana Garcia's body is laying on the floor, and that one is a close-up picture, while the picture on the right of your screen is a zoomed-out photo of Ana Garcia's body. As you can tell, there is blood surrounding her, there are blowflies visible, and there is a spilled flask. The middle photo shows blood and blowflies that were found on the table where her body was laying near. On the left side, you can see that there is a note that was found in her lab coat that says, "See you later." In the middle photo, you can see a sketch of the scene, and on the right, there is a picture of a spilled flask with a green liquid laying near her right hand. Some evidence found at the scene, as you can see in the photos. There was blood splatter drops found on the lab counter and around her body. There was blowflies that were found on the lab counter and her nostrils. Her body was found laying on the ground near the lab table. There was a flask with green substance spilled near her right hand. There was hair in her face and fingers. There was a note in her sides pocket that states, "See you later," and her phone was found near the right side of her head.
Okay, so we were able to determine 5 persons of interest. That is Eric Piedmont, Taylor Diaz, Dr. Elise Opal, Dominique Hall, and Sam Green. But we were able to narrow it down to 2 with the help of the polygraph tests. So one of our main suspects is Eric Piedmont. He was the decedent's boyfriend, and his polygraph showed that his respiration and heart rate fluctuated throughout all of his statements. One of them being about when the last time he had saw Ana. It is also known that he and Ana were recently seen having an argument, so this could suggest that he is lying and is therefore untrustworthy. Additionally, Dominique Hall's polygraph test also indicated that she was lying. So when asked about if her and Ana got along, her respiration fluctuated. Ana and Dominique were highly competitive, and Ana had recently won a scholarship that Dominique had wanted. So this could point to some jealousy and could suggest that she had something to do with Ana's death.
So far, our main suspects are Eric Piedmont, whose relationship toward Ana was being her significant other, and Dominique Hall, who was Ana's classmates in college. The following tests we conducted were a polygraph test, blood profiling, and hair analysis. The results from our polygraph test showed us that when we asked questions about Ana, both suspects had more to add to their stories. The results we gathered from the DNA profiles concluded that the blood that was found on the table and the floor did in fact match Ana Garcia's blood, as shown on the picture to the right. On the DNA ladder, it matches to Ana Garcia and not Eric nor Dominique. Finally, from our hair analysis, we conducted that the hair that was found at the crime scene matched the most to Eric Piedmont.
Based on the evidence we have collected from the scene, we can conclude that Anna fell and hit her head on the edge of the table in her lap. The question is, did Anna fall on her own or did someone push her? The graph shows that the average of the blood splatter drops found at the scene of Anna's death was 15 centimeters, which is the diameter of the blood splatter from which the height it was dropped from. The estimation of the blood splatter drops that fell was approximately 57 to 60 centimeters from the ground. The hypothesis that Anna was struck on the head was refuted because the blood was also found on the edge of the table near the splatter. The blood found on the table, near her body, and on her body all came back to be Anna's blood. Although the blood was Anna's, there had been hair found on Anna's lab coat that was closest to the same hair as Eric. Eric and Anna had been arguing earlier that day, and Eric mentioned that something had been bothering him. Since the hair sample matched to Eric, we can conclude that Eric is our top suspect in this case. Our conclusion to the Anna Garcia case of death is still a mystery. We are working hard to figure out how she died. Thank you for your patience. We will hopefully have an update for you soon. Thank you.
To answer these questions, we must conduct further tests. These future tests include an autopsy report, toxicology, pathology, and histology. An autopsy report will show us if any laceration marks like cuts, bruises, wounds, her organ conditions, ligature marks like any defensive wounds, and more. A toxicology report will show if she has done any drugs or consumed alcohol. A pathology will show us if she had any disease-causing agents in her system. A histology will show us if she had any issues with her organs and tissues, possibly also issues with her heart and brain.